morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. And there you see a view of our palm trees that we show each and every day. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's, I don't know, about 10 or 12 of them that they show up there. So I don't know how many palm trees it is today, but I see 12, so we'll call it 12 palm trees. We're fast and firm this afternoon, and we got a great day of racing. Boy, we got so much going on, but let's talk a little bit about yesterday with the Stronach 5. Man, did it pay big. It paid $47,000, but you had to have a $50 winner at Laurel Park and a $53 winner at Golden Gate Fields. And you had some, basically favorites or second choices at Gulfstream and the other two races at Laurel. So good handicap is $47,000. I would think that's 2 tickets somebody had in there. But that is just today. So let's talk about today. The Rainbow Six starts in race number 6 this afternoon with an 11 race card. And boy, we got a lot of money in the Rainbow Six this afternoon. $350,000 in the late in the Rainbow Six, which is races 6 through 11. So see if you can nail it down today. And lots of rain all around the country, but we're fast and firm today. And the big news, because we have a carryover in the late pick 5 of $70,000 plus. And every time we have this, there'll be over $250,000 or more in this pool. And that's the last 5 races of the card. And it's a 50-cent wager. So as I mentioned, lots going on this afternoon. We're starting today with a fast main track, a firm turf course. We got 2 pick 5s this afternoon. I put an early pick 5 ticket together, and I want to show you that right now. I like the horse that's a little bit of a price in here, Tail Adios. I'm going to talk about that horse in a couple of minutes. That's the 4, but I also used Karenina on my ticket. I went 3 deep in race number 2 with Win for Winslow, Dang It, and Awesome Beach in there. I think those are, it's a pretty competitive field. The J.S. Bach going to the Sappy Joseph Jr. barn, taking a pretty big drop, and Dexter Road in the 3rd race. 4th race, 3 deep with a little bit dangerous. Couple of Nickies in Cherokee Sound. And I ended it up in race number 5 with Cobb and Peruvian Dance, who I'm going to show you performance stepping up today, but that one might be able to spring an upset 10-1 on the morning line. So let's go right into this first race. And I was talking about the number 4, Tail Adios, who's making his second start back from the layoff. I want to go back and show you this horse's last race. And you'll see him here, and he's the number 5, and you're going to see him come out of the gate and run pretty good here. He gets a really nice position early on in the race. So he looks like he's right there. He's on almost just on the lead. He looks like he's got good position. And then, things start to get a little hairy here when he goes into the turn. As you'll see, he gets shuffled back repeatedly in this race. He's really got nowhere to go. So he had that good possession, but horses came over on him, and the horse had to back up and just had nowhere to go this afternoon. So that afternoon, excuse me. So just, stuck behind the horses and just keeps looking for racing room. But you can see the horse wants to run, just has no place to run in that particular spot. There goes another steady again. So just a bad trip for this horse. And then, when this horse turns for home, there you see him over there. So he basically was out of the race, but he shows some interest late on, which I like. And he comes running late. And I just think if this horse would have had a clean trip, he would have been way better than he finished way better than he did in that particular race. So just a horse that I had some interest in with a tough trip, trained by Terry Pompey. And that was a horse coming back from a longer than 180-day layoff. And Terry Pompey is 2 for 4 with that 50%. So the horses that run second after a long layoff run well. Now, Karenina is the other horse I used on my early pick 5, turning back to the mile again after surrendering that 2.5 length lead when finishing second. Again, this horse looks like to be, 32 career starts with 1 win, 10 seconds and 9/3. Going to get a jockey change to Edgar Zayas this afternoon. Hector Berrios off all his mounts. We'll let you know a little later on. He's fine. Yeah, so we'll let you know. He's had a fall yesterday, so he'll not be on his mounts this afternoon. So Karenina also on my ticket. Then the 5, Avocado Toast, who's wheeling back and stretching out to the mile on the turf after returning from the layoff. Finished 4th. That was going 5 furlongs on a good track. That was just 7 days ago. Bobby DeBona, Edgar Prado handling the stretch out in distance today. So a short turnaround. Bobby DeBona, excellent day yesterday with a couple of winners. Second race this afternoon. Got the scratch of the one horse in here, but it's a 6-furlong maiden claimer for 2-year-olds, 25,000 down to 20. And I went with the 6 Win for Winslow, who's dropping to the 25 level today after tracking the pace and fading. But that was a really good $50,000 maiden sprint that produced a pair of next out winners, Ralph Nix, Edgar Zayas, handling the drop down in competition today. The 5, Dang It, is stretching out to 3/4 of a mile this afternoon after setting the pace and weakening when facing similar. That was going 5 furlongs. You get second-time blinkers today and a chance to score from just on or off the pace this afternoon. Second-time blinkers. I sort of like that angle every once in a while. I think this horse will be prominently placed. And then the 4 Orson Beach, who is also from the Ralph Nix barn, drops into the maiden claiming ranks after showing some early interest in fading. That was state-bred maiden special weight competition, Sammy Camacho. So Ralph's got a 2-prong attack in race number 2 today. Flipping the page, going to race number 3 in here. It's a 1-mile claiming event. 3 and up, non-winners of a race since February 22nd. $8,000 is the tag, so it's a dated claimer. And what about the 1 in here? What do you do with this horse? J.S. Bach, Sebastian Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. I guess they're music fans. This one moved to the Sappy Joseph Jr. barn after the claim and plunges into this $8,000 dated claimer after facing considerably tougher before the layoff with sort of inconsistent results. The barn is good with new claims. What I like about this horse, really training sharply in the morning, and this is a move that this barn makes. So a lot of people say, I'm not betting a horse because of the big drop. They do it all the time. The 3, Dexter Road, is hoping to finally get back to the winner's circle after back-to-back second-place finishes at this level and distance. Tammy Levy, and you're going to get a jock change here to, I think it's Angel Arroyo. Mario Fuentes also off his mounts this afternoon. So those 2 jocks will not be competing this afternoon. The other horse I had some interest in was the number 6, Caramani, who's turning back to the 1-turn mile today. Circled the field to get the lead prior to finishing second. That was against those open claimers going a mile in his 16th. The 6-year-old, I think, really spotted well against these non-winners of a race since February 22nd. Race number 4 is on the turf at 1 mile. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 in life. 8 will go to the post and hare. And I went with Little Bit Dangerous, the number 3, who does her best running in the latter stages of the race, comes off a pair of third-place finishes at the distance. I think this horse sits in a catbird seat behind. There is a lot of speed in this race that signed on to compete. So Patrick Viancone, the strong finisher, Luca Panici in the saddle. So I see a lot of speed, and I see a perfect trip for this horse this afternoon. One of those speeds is the 7 Couple of Nickies, who's stepping up to face these 2 lifetime claimers after using her speed to defeat 12-5 maidens in front-running fashion for Joe Orsino. Sammy Camacho atop this speedy sophomore, and Cherokee Sound is cutting back to the distance where she broke her maiden after rallying to finish 4th, going 8.5. She should be along for a share. For the speed that I seen this race hooks up, it looks like it might set up, if not for a Little Bit Dangerous, maybe for the 4 Cherokee Sound, who I believe is a second choice on the board. So these are the top 2 choices. So we'll see how that race plays out. But speed on the turf course here at Gulfstream Park. It just the horse can go to the lead and never look back. Race 5 this afternoon, 7 furlongs, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds. And I started it off with the 6 Cobb, who broke slowly from the rail last time out, returns after making that 5-wide bid to finish 4th at this level and distance. It's Juan Alvarado. And you got an Edgar Zayas handling a much improved starting position this afternoon. I think this is going to help this horse breaking from post 6, not quite the outside, but away from that rail. Remember when I was talking about my early pick 5, I mentioned Peruvian Dancer, who's stretching out today to 7 furlongs and stepping up the competition. Really good second last time out. I want to show you this, even though it's against $25,000 maidens. This horse that day was the number 5 Peruvian Dancer. And you're just going to see this one, a good ride, just skimming the inside all the way around. And you'll see this horse right here. You say, maybe the horse will be 3rd or 4th or something like that. But the horse just keeps coming. And I just think with the stretch out to 7 furlongs, and I don't see any world beaters here, so the step up might not be bad. And there you see 5. Keep your eye on the 5. Just keeps closing and closing along the inside. Thought it was a really really good race. Beat a half length for the whole thing. So stepping up, prove he can run well. But I like the way that horse showed some ability, like cutting through there on the inside and running well. So certainly be tested for class today. And the 4, Congrats Dad, who's coming off a solid effort at this sort of taxing 7-furlong distance. I think he fits nicely in here for trainer Mike Yates. You're getting jockey Miguel Vasquez in the saddle. Can't go wrong with that. So that's the first 5. Going to take a break, catch my breath, come back, and give you the Rainbow 6.
And they're off. Second in the 2-path. Round off first inside. Race. Got a quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 yards out. Last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. I'm Ron Nicoletti here, and we're going to start to talk about the Rainbow 6, which starts in race number 6. It's a mile and a 16th claimer for 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 in life. And I put a ticket together, $43.20 for me, and I did go 3 deep in here. A lot of people might be thinking of singling Slippy in here, the number 6 for Gustavo Delgado. I didn't want to get knocked out, so I used Expectation and Rags for Riches for Carlos Perez, Marcos Meneses in the saddle today. And race number 7, I went 3 deep. 8, Dem, a Wonder, the 2, Sexy Dream, a first-time starter, and Okwalani is the daughter of a 2-step salsa. And then 2 deep in race number 8. I think it's between Share the Blame and Unpublished in that race. Race number 9, Positive Phil, 5-2 on the board. That's my best bet of the afternoon for Juan Ciavilla coming out of a Monster Key race. I also use Coltrane in there. Race number 10, Tatweej is a $2.5 million son of Tappet. Maybe a lot of people singles. I'm not that sold on that horse. I also use Hard Lighting and Glory Florida. I would not be surprised if that horse wins. Going to talk to Edgar Zayas about riding that very pricey son of Tappet a little later on this afternoon. And then 2 deep in race number 11 with the 4 and the 11 Horoscopo and Winter at Bastogne. So I just think $43.20, $350,000 guaranteed in the Rainbow 6 this afternoon. And we'll be talking about the late pick 5 in a couple of moments with a really nice carry over there. But let's get through this 6th race. As I mentioned, the number 6, Slippy, a previous winner at this mile in the 16th distance. It stretches out after back-to-back second-place finishes going to 1-turn mile for Gustavo Delgado. Miguel Vasquez will be in the saddle today. The 4, Texpectation, moved to the Javier Morazan barn after the claim, stretches out to this mile in the 16th or 8.5 furlongs. Had a bit of a troubled start last time out, finished 4th behind the Top Choice. That was going 8 panels last time out, so this one's going to get Edgar in the saddle. And I think if this horse gets a good trip, gets out of the gate, especially in good order, it could be a danger for number 6, Slippy. And why I went 2, and not only 2, 3 deep in the opening leg of the Rainbow 6, because Rags for Riches, the 7, will try to turn the tables on Slippy after rallying wide to finish 3rd behind him last out. So they're coming out of that race. Carlos Perez, the trainer, Marcos Meneses in the saddle. Going to race number 7 this afternoon is where I mentioned the late pick 5 is going to start with $70,000 in the pool. This is a great bet, especially when we have a carryover and the money just comes flying in. So make sure you get part of this. Only a 50-cent wager. It's a 5.5 furlong maiden special weight race for state-bred fillies. 2-year-olds in here, and I started it off with the number 4 in here, Dem a Wonder, who's going to wear blinkers this afternoon. I'm going to go back and show you a couple of shots of this horse's start last time out. Sort of broke in the tangle. Was the number 4 that day. You're going to just see here the pan shot, and so keep your eye on the number 4, and just gets breaks in that tangle, goes back to last there. I just thought that this horse was compromised by that break. And here you're going to see it again, just gets a little, gets bopped around in there. It was a wet track that afternoon. Rowan Crichton is the trainer, and he's really good with his freshman runners. Now we're going to watch this horse, coming around the turn. That was after, having that trouble at the start. And, finished third in that race. I thought it was nice to run third. He had to deal with the sloppy track, bad break, getting mud in their face, getting kicked back in her face, and her face, excuse me. And I just thought ran a good third, was coming on at the end. It wasn't look like he, wasn't going to beat the favorite that afternoon. It was, running very well in there. So that was the morning line favorite. So it comes up and gets just beat ahead for second money after that tough break. So them a wonder, I think you got to use on your ticket. Sexy Dream is a daughter of Jess's Dream, debuting for Jackson Better Farm and Ralph Nix with only a couple of posted break workouts on the line, but I want to show you a stat on Ralph Nix with his 2-year-old first-time starters. These are fillies, maiden special weight on the dirt. He's 9 for 41, 22%. 56% in the money. 206 is the return of investment over the last 5 years. So he does exceptionally well. And for some reason, I always show the stat. He does much better, not much better, but better with 2-year-old fillies than he does with colts. So just a stat I wanted to put out there. And that's race number 7 where that late pick 5 starts. Race 8 this afternoon is a 6-furlong claimer, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 in life, 18 down to $16,000. And the number 6, Share the Blame, will be on my ticket, but very, very tepidly because this one takes a suspicious drop to this $18,000 level in the first start since being halted out of a $40,000 condition claimer going a mile. Now, that was last September. The trainer is Elizabeth Dobles and ready to son a blame for the return with 6 Palmetto workouts, including a recent 5-furlong bullet, in a minute and 1. So working well, just a big drop. And this barn, I don't remember seeing them making horses this big of a drop. So, you got to sort of take that into consideration. Number 7, Unpublished, who was beaten a nose when finishing second in the 25-2 lifetime claimer. That was 3 starts back. Drops, came up empty in a pair of state-bred optional claimers at the distance. Gary Jackson, Edgar Zayas. Cruise down, where does this horse fit? Fits right here after running that good second against 25-2 lifetime claimers. As I mentioned, is 18 down to 16. Then the number 3, Dream Dioro, who's stepping up to face winners. First starts in defeating those 20 maidens, going 6 for Dan Pino, Miguel Vasquez in the saddle today. Pretty wide open race in there, but I think those are the logical 3. Race number 9 this afternoon. We'll flip the page here, and we're going to go with Positive Phil is my best bet. As I mentioned, this is a mile turf event. Claim is 3 and up. Non-winners at 3, or race since February 22nd, so it's a conditioned claimer. The number 7, Positive Phil, drops just a notch this afternoon, tracked the pace last time and finished third, but in front of a trio of next out winners. So it was a key 35 condition claimer going a mile on the grass for Juan C. Avila, and you get Edgar Zayas in the saddle. So 5-2 on the board. It's not that this horse is going to be, a big price or anything. I just thought coming out of a key race, had to make this one my top pick in there. But you also have to use the 8 Coltrane, who's debuting locally and dropping into this condition claimer. But this horse has the great equalizer on its side, and that is speed. The gelding makes his first starts in setting the pace, and he actually finished second in a good $32,000 optional claimer up at Tampa, produced a couple of next out winners. Hard to translate the form up at Tampa down to South Florida, but I just thought the speed made me think you got to use this horse. And then Uncle Curly, who's eligible to rally and grab a share after following a 12-5-2 lifetime score, finishes 4th against 23 lifetime runners going a mile. That was on a good turf that afternoon. So race number 9, Positive Phil for me, the best bet. Coltrane and Uncle Curly, which I do not have an Uncle Curly. The 10th race this afternoon, this one is the feature race of the afternoon. It's a 1-mile allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and up, or the optional claiming price of $25,000. We have a scratch in here of the number 2, and the jockey on the number 6 will be Joseph Trejos, riding without the apprentice allowance in that spot. And as I mentioned earlier, Tutweed, a $2.5 million son of Tapit. We're going to go back and look at his last race, and I picking it up at the top of the stretch. And you're going to see right now that 5-horse on the outside, McCain, actually takes the lead over the 2-horse as they're coming into the turn. But this Son of Tappet, it was nice to draw off again and actually was impressive after that. And I thought when I watched the race that McCain was going to go right by this horse. Now, he was the 4-5 favorite that afternoon, with that high price tag of $2.5 million. But I just thought he raced a little greenly in the stretch. You see him there, Edgar keeping his mind on business. So I think that's a logical choice in there this afternoon. Want to show you stat on Todd Pletcher. Maiden winner last out. Route races on the dirt at Gulfstream Park. He is 12 for 38, 32%, 76% in the money, and 175 is the return of investment. So quite a stat. And Tutweege, very, very pricey 4-year-old Son of Tappet. The 5 Hard Lighting is back home and back in a competitive spot after failing to fire. But that was a big behind a horse that's going to be, I believe, one of the favorites in the Kentucky Derby, Art Collector. That was in the Bluegrass. And the horse that ran in that race second, Swiss Skydiver, the filly, came back last week and won the Alabama. So this horse was over its head, certainly. The trainer is Alexis Delgado. He adds blinkers. This is the spot for this horse, this 25 optional claimer, Hard Lighting. They took a shot up there, and they ran into a couple of buzzsaws. And then Gloria, Florida, as I mentioned, will try and make it 2 in a row after drawing clear on a sealed sloppy track to win at this level and distance. It's Mike Maker. I just mentioned Joe Treos will be in the saddle today. Tough to leave him off, and that's why I just couldn't single Tutweege in the late pick 5 or the Rainbow 6. Race number 11 this afternoon is 6 1/2 furlongs. Maiden claim is 3 and up, 10,000. Went with the 4 Oroscopo in here. We do have a scratch of the 2-horse in there. I went with Oroscopo, who's scratching out to 6 1/2 furlongs again after finishing second in consecutive races against similar. That was going 3/4 of a mile. It's Mike Yates. He's got Miguel Vasquez in the saddle, so the stretch out might help this horse. Winter at Bastogne is dropping to the bottom on the maiden scale and turning back after a so-so campaign against tougher at distances from 7 to 8 furlongs for Liz Dobles. And a jockey change in there this afternoon. And I can't read my writing, but we'll tell you what that is a little later on. But I know it's not Hector Berrios. I can't see what I wrote down there. So I'll set you that. I'll tell you that in a little while. Number 6, Pozan, is stretching out to a slightly after returning from the layoff for trainer Juan Ariagata and finishing 4th against Simla, going 6 panels. That was on that sealed, sloppy track. I know that apprentice Joseph Treos will handle the second race off the bench in there. So Pete's going to give you all the information you need anyway with scratches, jockey changes here. If I could read my writing, you could see how well I did in school. So we got a great day today. A couple of huge carryovers with the Rainbow 6 jackpot guarantee of $350,000. And you watch how they bet this late pick 5, and it's a good sequence. So we'll be here throughout the afternoon. The main track fast, the turf course firm. See you in a bit.